Alright, today I'm going to be going over a passage called I'm working a part time job at a bakery near my house. Or maybe that's just the first sentence, I guess. Anyways, I'm working a part time job at a bakery near my house. The bakery sells French breads like baguettes, sweet buns like melon breads, and custard cream breads, and meal buns like corn rolls and curry breads. The job is quite easy, but I feel sorry when I throw away unsold goods. I think it's a waste to throw away food that haven't gone bad, so I believe it's better to utilize them like recycling into compost. Okay. Um Pretty good. There's only a couple minor errors, I would say. So I'll go ahead and go over those with you. I'm working a part-time job at a bakery near my house. Um, that's perfect. Nothing wrong with that. Um, Now this second one, as you can tell, it's a very long sentence. And long sentences, when you see a long sentence um, like this, you're probably going to want to break it up into two sentences. So I'll go ahead and read through it one more time. The bakery sells French breads like baguettes, sweet buns like melon breads, and custard cream breads, and meal buns like corn rolls and curry breads. So this part I think should be a completely different sentence. Um, yeah. So the reason I say that is because you're listing off things that it sells, and you're listing off too many things that it sells in one sentence, um, and it's kind of tedious to read, um, and and just hard to really put it all together. So what I think you should do here is I do like the first part. The bakery sells French breads like baguettes. That's fine. And then I think you should get rid of this comma. Let's see. French breads like baguettes, and sweet buns like melon breads and custard cream breads. Period. I think there should be a period there. And then this second part, I think you should open it up again with something like they also sell something like that. So they also, let's capitalize that. They also they also sell meal buns like corn rolls and curry breads. Now the reason I made this um, the cut right there is that you're talking about breads first, and then you start talking about meal buns. So a meal bun like corn rolls and curry breads, those are still they're still in the bread category, baked bread category, I guess. But since you're calling them meal buns, it's a different. It's kind of a different type. So French breads, baguettes, um, and then sweet buns like melon breads and custard breads. Those are two different things. French breads and sweet breads, but they both are called breads. So they can be in the same sentence, and it makes perfect sense. I mean, you can have any of this stuff in the same sentence since it's all breads, but um, I think I'm just making this too big of a thing. So they also sell meal buns like corn rolls and curry breads. I think that would be the best thing to do, was just chop it up into two sentences. Um, that way it's not. I don't know if you've heard the term run-on sentence, but that was definitely what I would call a run-on sentence, where you keep going on and on, kind of like how I keep talking about everything forever and never shut up. But anyways, moving on. Um, the job is quite easy, but I feel sorry when I throw away unsold goods. Um, this I would say is fine. Oh, actually, so what is that called? I cannot think of what that is called. I think. Let me look this up real quick. Okay, yeah. It is a conjunction. Alright, so but is a conjunction. And when you have a conjunction. Oh, I should have left that page open. So when you have a conjunction, you usually want to. So here's a list of them: and, but, or, yet, for, nor, so. When you have any of those, you want to put a comma usually. Usually and. Okay, so and. I'm trying to think of the hard rule for this. The job is quite easy, and that we would normally take a breath there. The job is quite easy. Breathe. But I feel sorry when I throw away unsold goods. So that's kind of a pause in the sentence, because you're. So I like to think of these conjunctions with a but in them. I like to think of them as like a positive and a negative side of the sentence. So your positive side is the job is quite easy. Oh, that's nice. It's nice to know that your job is easy, right? That's a positive thing. Having an easy job is a positive thing. But since you said but, you're gonna get ready to tell us something negative about it, right? So since we see the but, we're expecting something negative, and then so in between those, we like a comma to separate those, because it just separates it better than just putting the but. And that's the way I like to think of it. The rules for it, I'll try and look it up and give you the rule for it, but I'm not exactly sure what to tell you for that. So that, I would say the sentence is perfect now. Yeah. All right. Oops. Last one. I think it's a waste to throw away food that haven't gone bad, so I believe it's better to utilize them, like recycling into compost. All right. 2 things wrong, I think. I think that was it. Okay, haven't. It needs to be hasn't. Has not. Let's think of some examples here. So, haven't and hasn't are really like the same word. They're has and have. He has a baseball. We have baseballs, right? I'm not sure what the exact rule here is, but so okay, actually I think I figured it out. So throw away food. So since food, if it's like one item on this side of the hasn't, right? That kind of doesn't make sense, but if it's one item that has, then we say has or hasn't. So if it's more than one thing, we say haven't. Now that sounds really confusing, so let me explain. So, for example, let's see. One person has left the classroom, right? One person has left the classroom. If we put more people into that sentence and say 3 people, then has needs to be have. So 3 people have left the classroom. Or one person, or there is one person that has not left the classroom. There is only one person that has not left the classroom, right? And then if we want to put more people in that, there are 3 people left that have not left the classroom, that haven't left the classroom. So if you're putting a plural item on attached to the has or hasn't, it needs to be have. Okay, so so since food, when we say food, we could be talking about like one apple, or an apple, an orange, and a banana, right? All 3 of those are food. We wouldn't say foods. Well, we do say foods, but not in that sense, not in that context. So, since food is really like a singular, it's kind of almost a singular and plural word in one. So this is kind of a weird word. It's kind of a hard one to explain. So yeah, so food, I guess, is just assumed to be a single thing, and so that's why it hasn't. So that's that. I hope I went over that well enough. And then utilize, you spelt wrong. I actually had to double check this, so I won't, give you crap for it, because I barely know how to spell utilize. It's kind of an uncommon word. I believe it's better to utilize them, like recycling. Oh, actually 3 things wrong with this, sorry. Utilize them like recycling them into compost. So, let's see. I think, yeah. So it says you're Japanese. So in Japanese, I don't know too much Japanese, but I know that you guys omit a lot of things, right? So you would say something like, "Watashi wa Jared desu. Amerikajin desu. My name is Jared, or I am Jared. American. Am American." You don't say I am American again. You won't bring yourself up again, because it's obvious that we're talking about myself, right? But in English, we do that all the time. We bring up ourselves. I mean, I brought that up, 2 times in that one sentence. We bring up ourselves all the time because we forget what we are talking about. We bring it up all the time. It's almost ridiculous how much we bring up the topic. But yeah, so that you need to bring up, like, recycling them into compost. Or you could say something like, throw away food that hasn't gone bad, so I believe it's better to utilize them by recycling. Well, actually, then you still need to put them by recycling them into compost. So that one, you still have to put the them in there. Actually, I do think I like by instead of this better. Actually, never mind, because like that's saying, I think it's better to utilize them. Like doing this, meaning this is just one idea. There's other things you can say. So you could say, like recycling them into compost, or donating them to a food or a homeless shelter, right? So since you said like, it implies that you're just giving 1 or 2 options out of many other ones. That's what that like implies there. So I do like that rather than by. So forget what I said about by. All right. Well, it looks like I'm finished. I'll leave up some notes. in writing so that you don't have to watch this video all the time if you don't want to. Anyways, I hope I was able to help, and good job so far with your English. You're doing really well. And I'll see you in the next video, I suppose. Alright.